IRS officially declares Trump family 2 winning to audit in historic self-settlement. In what tax experts are calling either the most brilliant financial maneuver in American history or the largest accounting loophole since the invention of the LLC, the Department of Justice announced Tuesday that the Internal Revenue Service is now forever barred and precluded from auditing President Donald J. Trump, his family, his businesses, his trusts, his golf courses, or anything else that might have been looked at funny before Monday. The one-page addendum, signed by Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, a man whose previous job was defending Trump in court, was quietly tacked onto the settlement of Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS, an agency he currently runs as president. For those keeping score at home, this is the legal equivalent of suing yourself, then agreeing to drop the case if you promise never to investigate yourself again. This is a tremendous victory for fairness, said a senior administration official who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was busy celebrating with a Diet Coke. The president has always said the system was rigged against him. Now, through the power of being the system, he has unrigged it perfectly. Under the agreement, the IRS must release, waive, acquit, and generally forget about any tax claims related to returns filed before the settlement date. Matters that were raised or could have been raised? Also gone. Future returns will still face the standard presidential audit, presumably conducted by 3 very polite accountants who have been instructed to focus on rounding errors only. The cherry on top, $1.776 billion anti-weaponization fund as part of the same deal. Taxpayers are funding a nearly $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund to compensate victims of political lawfare. The fund, cleverly named after 1776, will be overseen by a commission friendly to the current administration. Trump himself receives only a formal apology and no direct cash, a selfless act observers described as almost saintly, if saints sued government agencies they control for billions. Critics, mostly Democrats still recovering from the shock, called it unprecedented self-dealing and a slush fund. Supporters called it long overdue justice and suggested the real victims include anyone who ever had to listen to a Rachel Maddow monologue. One anonymous IRS auditor, speaking from what he described as the sad desk where we used to process Trump returns, said, "We spent years looking at this guy's filings like it was the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now we're told to pretend none of it happened. Fine. I'll just go audit a kindergarten teacher who deducted too many crayons instead." Legal scholars react. Constitutional experts are divided. Some argue this sets a dangerous precedent. Others argue it sets a hilarious precedent. One Harvard professor, reached while stress eating, simply muttered, "We're living in a post-irony timeline," before hanging up to refresh his resume. Trump, speaking from Mar-a-Lago while presumably reviewing new depreciation schedules, called the settlement beautiful, maybe the most beautiful settlement ever. He added, "Nobody knows taxes better than me, now the IRS finally admits it." The rest of America will continue to enjoy the traditional April 15th ritual of wondering if they remembered to save receipts from 2023. For the first family, that ritual has been permanently cancelled.